Imagine popping a bottle of champagne on your 65th birthday. You open your superannuation app and there it is, 7 digits, $1 million. For 40 years, the men in tailored suits told you this was the finish line. You think you were officially rich. You think you were part of the elite. You think you will be spending your winters in Europe and buying a new car every 5 years. But then, the first electricity bill arrives. Then your car registration is due. Then you go to the pharmacy. And suddenly, a cold, terrifying realisation washes over you. You are not rich. You are just the new middle class. G'day. Today, we are taking a sledgehammer to the greatest myth in the Australian financial system, the $1 million retirement. The media loves to throw this number around. They use it to make everyday, hard-working Aussies feel like they haven't saved enough. But today, I am going to show you the brutal, verified math of what $1 million actually buys you in 2026. We are going to look at the punishment of success, the hidden cost of losing your Centrelink safety net, and a completely legal trick you can use to actually make yourself poorer on paper, just so you can live a richer life. But to understand the trap, we first have to look at the raw math of what $1 million actually pays you. Let's strip away the ego and look at the spreadsheet. If you retire at 65 with $1 million in your superannuation, you can't just spend it all at once. You have to make that money last until you are 90. The golden rule of finance is the 5% drawdown. If you have your $1 million sitting in a balanced fund and you draw out 5% a year to live on, you get $50,000. Because you're over 60, that 50 grand is completely tax-free. But let's be brutally honest. $50,000 a year is about $960 a week. That is the starting salary for a 20-year-old junior admin assistant answering phones in a regional office block. Does $960 a week sound like the lifestyle of a millionaire? If you own your home outright, it is definitely enough to keep the lights on, buy decent groceries, and maybe take a nice domestic holiday once a year. It is comfortable, but it is not a life of luxury. If you still have a mortgage or if you're renting, that 50 grand is an absolute disaster. You will burn through your capital so fast your head will spin. But here is where the math gets genuinely infuriating, because having $1 million doesn't just give you a modest income, it actually strips you of your rights as an Australian citizen. Let's meet a bloke named Gary. Gary worked the mines for 35 years. He wrecked his back, missed his kids growing up, but he reached 67 with $1 million in his super account. Gary walks into Centrelink to claim his age pension. The bureaucrat behind the glass looks at his $1 million, laughs and stamps his application denied. In 2026, the assets test cutoff for a homeowner couple is roughly $1,085,000. If you're a single homeowner, it cuts off around $674,000. Gary is completely locked out of the system. He gets $0 in age pension. But far worse, he gets denied the pensioner concession card. While the bloke down the street with $400,000 in super gets cheap car registration, heavily subsidised utility bills and practically free medication on the PBS, Gary pays full retail price for every single thing in his life. Over a 20-year retirement, missing out on those concessions will cost Gary roughly $60,000 in out-of-pocket expenses. Gary is entirely self-funded. He carries 100% of the stock market risk. If the market crashes by 20% tomorrow, Gary loses $200,000 in an afternoon, and the government will not lift a finger to help him. The Australian system actively punishes the people who save the hardest. It is the ultimate middle-class squeeze. You are too rich for the government to help you, but too poor to afford a private jet to escape them. Now, number 3 is the one that really gets me, because it is the silent monster hiding under your bed. Let's say Gary accepts his fate. He lives on his $50,000 a year. But $50,000 today is not $50,000 in 10 years. With inflation running hot in Australia, the price of everything is doubling every 10 to 15 years. To buy the exact same groceries, petrol and insurance in the year 2036, Gary is going to need $75,000 a year. But where does that extra money come from? Gary's $1 million is shrinking because he's constantly drawing from it. If the market has a couple of bad years, his capital drops to $800,000. If he draws his required $75,000 from an $800,000 balance, he's burning nearly 10% of his capital every single year.
It is a mathematical death spiral. This is exactly why having $1 million makes you middle class. You are entirely at the mercy of inflation, and you do not have the safety net of the age pension, which is legally required to increase with inflation every 6 months. So what do? If hitting $1 million is actually a trap, how do you beat the system? This brings us to the secret shield, the strategy smart Aussies use to claw their way back into the government's good graces. I call it the pension pivot. If you hit 67 and you have $1 million, you are locked out of the pension because your assessable assets are too high.
But remember the golden rule of Australian finance. Your primary place of residence is 100% exempt from the Centrelink assets test. If Gary has $1 million in super, he can take $300,000 out completely tax-free. He takes that cash and he completely renovates his house. He puts on a new roof. He installs top-of-the-line solar panels and batteries to wipe out his electricity bill forever. He puts in a brand new kitchen. He just turned $300,000 of counted assets into exempt assets. His super balance drops to $700,000. Because his assets have dropped, Centrelink suddenly opens the door. Gary now qualifies for a part-age pension. The government starts paying him a few $100s a fortnight, but more importantly, he gets the pensioner concession card. He just secured his medical discounts, he lowered his living costs with the solar panels, and he still has $700,000 in the bank to fund his lifestyle. He legally made himself poorer on a spreadsheet so he could live a significantly richer, safer life in reality. The politicians in Parliament get guaranteed massive pensions for the rest of their lives, completely immune to stock market crashes. But they tell us to put our money in super and carry all the risk ourselves. We need to stop worshipping the $1 million milestone. $1 million does not mean you are wealthy. It just means you are completely self-reliant in a country that is getting more expensive by the hour. If you want to win this game, you have to stop looking at your gross balance and start looking at your net lifestyle. Wiping out your debts, securing your housing and forcing your way into the Centrelink concession system is often mathematically superior to just hoarding cash and hoping the stock market doesn't crash. You played by their rules for 40 years. It is time to start playing by your own. I want to hear from you right now. Go down to the comments and tell me the honest truth. Does having $1 million in super actually feel like enough to you in 2026? Or is the cost of living making you second-guess your plans? Drop your thoughts below. I'll read every single message and I will reply to you. Let's get a real conversation going. If this video gave you the reality check you were looking for, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next deep dive. And if you want to support this old bloke and get priority replies, hit that join button below to become an official member of the local pub. I'm the Retired Aussie. Look out for each other, and I'll see you in the next one.